In a striking escalation of tensions within the Trump administration, Elon Musk has publicly lambasted Peter Navarro, the president's chief trade advisor, branding him as dumber than a sack of bricks. This feud, which has erupted over the imposition of sweeping tariffs, has not only captured the attention of the tech world but also highlighted the rifts within the administration itself, as Musk's financial losses from these tariffs have reportedly reached around $31 billion. The discord began when Navarro dismissed Musk's claims to being a legitimate car manufacturer, labeling him merely a car assembler due to Tesla's reliance on global supply chains for parts. Musk fired back vehemently on social media, asserting that Navarro's comments were demonstrably false and questioning his qualifications. He provocatively referenced the fake expert he invented, Ron Vara, a fictional character Navarro has used in his works to support his economic theories. Musk's remarks came amid a backdrop of significant financial turmoil triggered by the tariffs, which have sent shockwaves through global markets. Observers note that this spate of insults is not merely personal, it reflects deeper concerns over the economic strategies currently being employed by the Trump administration. Musk, who has prided himself on his close ties with Trump, has publicly diverged from the president's protectionist stance, advocating instead for zero tariffs between the United States and Europe. While Navarro attempted to downplay the situation in a recent CNBC appearance, stating everything is good with Elon, the continued public sparring suggests otherwise. Insiders from the White House have indicated that Musk's criticisms were met with amusement rather than alarm among staff, signifying a complex dynamic where loyalty to Trump does not necessarily equate to unity on policy. This clash raises questions about the future of trade policy within the administration, especially as it pertains to the sectors most affected by these tariffs. Musk's unusual public rebuttals may signal a growing frustration among business leaders over the administration's economic direction, particularly as they navigate the impacts of these tariffs on their operations and the broader economy. As the situation develops, it remains uncertain how Trump will respond to the burgeoning feud between two of his most trusted advisors. Given Musk's influential status and wealth, his dissent could carry significant weight in shaping future trade discussions. The interplay of personal and professional grievances between Musk and Navarro illustrates the complexities of governance in an administration marked by intense loyalty and equally fierce disagreements. Looking ahead, the outcomes of this conflict may not only redefine relationships within the Trump administration but also influence the broader economic landscape as companies and consumers grapple with the repercussions of these tariffs. With Musk's continued criticism expected to unfold, the tech industry and economic policy observers will be closely monitoring how this saga develops. In a surprising twist that intertwines technology, government efficiency, and cryptocurrency, recent developments surrounding the Department of Government Efficiency DOGE have captured significant attention. Founded under the Trump administration and led by billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, DOGE has been at the forefront of efforts to streamline government operations and cut unnecessary spending. Yet as reports of Musk's potential departure from the agency surface, questions arise about the future direction of DOGE and its ambitious initiatives. On April 8, 2025, it was reported by Reuters that DOGE's operations had escalated to a controversial level, with claims that the agency was leveraging artificial intelligence to monitor U.S. federal workers. The implications of such a program raise ethical concerns about privacy and the extent to which government oversight encroaches on individual rights. While the agency has touted savings of approximately $140 billion through its cost-cutting measures, critics argue that its tactics may lead to a culture of mistrust among employees and citizens alike. While DOGE grapples with its reputation, its influence continues to expand at the state level. In Nevada, a new branch of DOGE has been launched with a clear mission: to investigate and expose waste, fraud, and abuse in government spending. The Nevada chapter, characterized as an independent nonprofit organization, aims to increase transparency in public finances at a time when confidence in governmental expenditure is waning. Taxpayers work too hard to see their money wasted on bloated bureaucracy and mismanaged programs, stated Brandon Davis, president of DOGE Nevada. The agency plans to utilize public data and whistleblower tips to shed light on fiscal misconduct, engaging citizens in the process of accountability. Meanwhile, North Dakota is considering following suit with its own version of DOGE. A bill passed by the state Senate proposes the establishment of a legislative task force to enhance government efficiency and implement cost-saving measures. Representative Nathan Toman, who introduced the bill, emphasized the initiative's goal of fostering a responsible and effective government rather than merely slashing budgets. This aligns with a growing trend across several states that have initiated similar efficiency panels, indicating a nationwide movement towards scrutinizing government spending. As these developments unfold, speculation about Musk's future with DOGE looms large. Reports from Politico suggest he may step back from his role as a special government employee, raising concerns about the potential impact on ongoing projects, including the proposed $5,000 DOGE stimulus checks. Despite this uncertainty, White House Press Secretary Leavitt assured that Musk would remain involved until his work at DOGE is completed. President Trump echoed this sentiment, acknowledging Musk's contributions while hinting at his upcoming return to his ventures at Tesla and SpaceX. Should Musk's departure materialize, the fate of the proposed stimulus checks remains unclear. Although he indicated that the determination of such payments lies within Congress and the president, there are whispers that the final amount could fall significantly short of the proposed $5,000, potentially reducing payouts to as little as $1,250. As the interplay between technology, government efficiency, and fiscal accountability continues to evolve, stakeholders will be closely monitoring the outcomes of DOGE's initiatives, both at the federal and state levels. The agency's ability to maintain public trust amid controversies and the ramifications of Musk's potential exit could shape the future landscape of government operations in the U.S. As discussions about efficiency and transparency gain momentum, the coming months promise to reveal how these dynamics will play out in the realm of public service. In the ever-evolving landscape of the electric vehicle market, recent developments have spotlighted the intensifying competition between Tesla and its rivals, particularly BYD, as well as the growing discontent among Tesla's own investors regarding the company's performance. This convergence of events not only raises questions about Tesla's future but also underscores the broader implications of market dynamics and corporate governance in the tech and automotive sectors. BYD, the Chinese automaker, has recently seen its stock price surge, signaling its strong market position and ability to threaten Tesla's dominance. Analysts are noting that BYD is not only ramping up production but also enhancing its technological offerings, which are starting to resonate with consumers globally. As BYD's market capitalization grows, it is increasingly viewed as a formidable competitor to Tesla, particularly in the realm of affordable electric vehicles. With rising sales figures, BYD is catching up to Tesla in several critical aspects, leading investors to speculate on Tesla's long-term market strategies. Meanwhile, Tesla itself is facing significant scrutiny over its sales figures. Ross Gerber, a prominent investor and CEO of Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management, did not hold back in expressing his dissatisfaction with Tesla's recent quarterly performance. Gerber criticized the company for its disappointing sales of high-end models, including the Cybertruck Model S and Model X, which saw a sales decline of 25% year-over-year. He stated bluntly, "These numbers suck," reflecting his concern over what he perceives to be a brand in crisis. Gerber's frustrations extend beyond sales figures. He has called for a re-evaluation of Tesla's board, arguing that they are responsible for what he describes as a broken brand image. His comments highlight a deeper issue within Tesla, a potential disconnect between leadership and market realities. As Tesla grapples with internal challenges, it also faces external pressures, particularly from political figures like Peter Navarro, an advisor in the Trump administration. In a recent interview, Navarro categorized Tesla as a mere car assembler because of its reliance on foreign-made parts. Musk responded vehemently, labeling Navarro a moron and asserting that Tesla is in fact one of the most vertically integrated auto manufacturers in the U.S. This exchange underscores the broader debate surrounding American manufacturing and the implications of rising tariffs on parts sourced internationally. The ever-present threat of tariffs looms large over Tesla's operations. Analysts like Dan Ives have noted that while Tesla may be less exposed to tariffs compared to traditional U.S. automakers, the company's supply chain heavily depends on international sources, particularly from China. The potential for tariffs to disrupt Tesla's established global footprint poses a significant risk as it competes with emerging rivals like BYD, which may benefit from a more localized supply chain. As tensions mount, the future of Tesla and its competitive positioning remains uncertain. Investors and analysts alike are closely watching how the company navigates these challenges. With the looming specter of economic disruption from tariffs and growing competition from BYD, Tesla must not only address its internal governance and sales strategies but also adapt to an increasingly complex global market landscape. In conclusion, the interplay between Tesla's performance, investor sentiment, and competitive pressures from BYD exemplifies the dynamic nature of the electric vehicle industry. As these narratives unfold, stakeholders will be keen to observe how Tesla responds to both internal critiques and external challenges. The coming months will be crucial for the company as it seeks to reaffirm its position in a rapidly changing market. In a significant boost for national security and the burgeoning space industry, the U.S. Space Force has awarded contracts worth up to $13.7 billion to three major launch providers, SpaceX, Blue Origin, and United Launch Alliance (ULA). This landmark decision, finalized on April 4, 2025, will facilitate a total of 54 national security spaceflight missions over the next 5 years, enhancing the United States' capabilities in the increasingly competitive and strategic domain of space. The contracts, part of the National Security Space Launch (NSSL) Phase 3 program, allocate over $5 billion each to SpaceX and ULA for approximately 28 and 19 missions respectively. Blue Origin, which missed out on the previous phase, will secure about $2.4 billion for 7 missions starting in fiscal year 2026. The missions are scheduled to occur from FY 2027 to FY 2032, underscoring a long-term commitment to maintaining the robustness of U.S. space operations. America leads the world in space launch, and through these NSSL Phase 3 contracts we will ensure continued access to this vital domain, stated Major General Stephen Purdy, the Acting Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Air Force for Space Acquisition and Integration. The inclusion of Blue Origin marks a pivotal expansion of the competitive landscape for military launches, as the Space Force aims to leverage multiple providers to safeguard sensitive technologies and enhance operational readiness. Historically, the NSSL program was initiated by the Air Force in 1994, evolving from the Evolved Expendable Launch Vehicle program to accommodate next-generation launch vehicles. To date, missions have primarily utilized SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy along with ULA's Delta IV and Atlas V rockets. With the completion of Phase 3, the Space Force anticipates more than doubling the number of missions compared to the previous phase, establishing contracts across 2 operational lanes. Lane 1 caters to less demanding missions with minimal requirements, while Lane 2 is reserved for high-stakes payloads that require stringent risk management. The decision to award these contracts reflects a strategic partnership between the government and the aerospace industry to bolster launch resiliency. Brigadier General Kristen Panzenhagen, Program Executive Officer for the Space Force's Assured Access to Space Directorate, emphasized the importance of these contracts in ensuring the U.S. military's readiness. Today's award culminates nearly 3 years of government and industry collaboration aimed at increasing launch resiliency and capacity, she noted. In a related development, the Space Systems Command has begun assigning specific missions under the Phase 3 contracts. Among them, SpaceX has secured 7 launches valued at $845.8 million, while ULA will handle 2 missions worth $427.6 million. This allocation reflects ongoing adjustments in mission assignments as ULA lost some contracts to SpaceX due to construction delays at its launch facilities. Meanwhile, Blue Origin will have its opportunity to engage in the NSSL program starting in fiscal year 2026, further diversifying the competitive framework. This strategic approach is designed to ensure that national security payloads are launched efficiently and effectively, fostering healthy competition within the space launch sector. As the U.S. Space Force continues to refine its approach to military space operations, the implications of these contracts extend beyond mere fiscal considerations. They represent a commitment to maintaining technological superiority in space even as emerging threats from global adversaries loom on the horizon. Companies like SpaceX, ULA, and Blue Origin will play critical roles in shaping the future of American military capabilities in a domain that is becoming increasingly crucial for national security. Looking ahead, stakeholders in the aerospace and defense sectors will be closely monitoring how these contracts evolve and the potential for increased operational tempo in U.S. space missions. With the ongoing advancements in technology and rising geopolitical tensions, the ability to launch and manage national security payloads effectively will be paramount for the United States. In a dramatic escalation of a public feud, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and a prominent figure in the tech industry, has launched a scathing attack on Peter Navarro, a former advisor to President Trump, over the contentious issue of U.S. tariffs. Musk's sharp remarks come in light of a recent study that named Tesla as the manufacturer of the most American-made cars. In a tweet that quickly gained traction, Musk referred to Navarro as dumber than a sack of bricks, while vehemently defending Tesla's status as a legitimate car manufacturer in response to Navarro's dismissive characterization of the company. The clash began when Navarro, known for his hardline stance on trade, suggested in a television interview that Tesla merely assembles cars from imported parts rather than manufacturing them. This claim was met with fierce rebuttal from Musk, who not only defended Tesla's manufacturing prowess but also derided Navarro's academic credentials, stating that having a PhD in economics from Harvard was a bad thing, not a good thing. Musk's remarks are particularly poignant given his estimated loss of $31 billion since the Trump administration's tariff announcements, a fact that underscores the significant economic implications of the ongoing trade disputes. The escalating war of words between Musk and Navarro has added fuel to the fire in an already volatile economic landscape characterized by widespread market turbulence due to the administration's aggressive tariff policies. These tariffs have been criticized for causing disruptions across global financial markets, with many industries, including the automotive sector, experiencing severe repercussions. As Musk's comments circulated, they elicited a mix of concern and amusement among White House staff, revealing a divide in perspectives on the seriousness of the conflict. Notably, President Trump has so far refrained from commenting on the feud between his advisors, both of whom he holds in high esteem. Navarro, who previously faced legal challenges related to his loyalty to Trump, appears to be attempting to downplay the tensions, asserting that everything is good with Musk. However, Musk's vocal criticism of Navarro, and by extension the administration's tariffs, marks a rare divergence from Musk's typically supportive stance towards Trump, highlighting a complex relationship between the tech mogul and the political landscape. In recent months, Musk has leveraged his platform on X, formerly Twitter, to voice his discontent with the administration's policies, calling for zero tariffs on trade with Europe, a stark contrast to the prevailing protectionist sentiment. His outspoken nature has led to an increase in followers and engagement on the platform, where he often catalyzes discussions on pressing economic issues. Critics, however, have raised concerns over the spread of misinformation and the potential for harmful rhetoric, particularly in light of Musk's significant influence over public discourse. As the conflict unfolds, it remains to be seen how this public spat will impact both the automotive industry and Musk's relationship with the Trump administration. The drama encapsulates broader themes of economic policy, corporate responsibility, and the role of influential figures in shaping public opinion. With the ongoing fluctuations in the market and the potential for further tariff-related decisions, the implications of this feud could resonate far beyond social media, affecting stakeholders across the economy. As the world watches this unfolding narrative, The future of U.S. trade policy and its implications for American manufacturers like Tesla hangs in the balance. Musk's confrontational approach may signal a growing rift not only within the Trump administration but also among the business elite regarding the direction of American economic strategy. The coming weeks will likely reveal whether this dispute merely serves as a flashpoint in a larger debate or if it catalyzes more profound changes in the relationship between technology manufacturing and government policy in the United States. In a remarkable fusion of technology and human resilience, Nolan Arbaugh's journey encapsulates the transformative potential of neural implants. After a life-altering accident left him with quadriplegia, Nolan became the first person to receive a brain implant developed by Elon Musk's Neuralink, a neurotechnology company aiming to bridge the gap between the human brain and computers. His story not only sheds light on the advancements in brain-computer interface (BCI) technology but also underscores the profound impact of such innovations on personal identity and human connection. Nolan's life took a drastic turn on June 30, 2016 when a freak accident during a summer camp outing dislocated his neck, leading to paralysis from the shoulders down. The once active and adventurous young man found himself confined to a wheelchair, grappling with the limitations of his new reality. After years of physical and emotional challenges, the opportunity to participate in Neuralink's experimental program offered a glimmer of hope. Neuralink? That was desperation. That was why the heck not, he recounted, reflecting the courage that propelled him into the unknown. On January 28, 2024, during a groundbreaking surgery at the Barrow Neurological Institute in Phoenix, Nolan received the N1 implant, a device designed to interpret the electrical signals generated by his thoughts. The chip, slightly larger than a quarter, connects to specific brain regions responsible for muscle movement and translates Nolan's intentions into actions on his computer. "I think where I want the cursor to go and it goes," Nolan explained, marveling at the simplicity and complexity of the technology. Initially, he had to visualize moving his hand to control the cursor. However, with practice he learned to directly manipulate it with his thoughts alone. As Nolan acclimated to the implant, he began to regain a sense of autonomy that had been stripped away by his injury. He could send emails, communicate with friends, and even play chess online, activities that re-established his connection to the outside world. "It did feel like magic at first," he said, recalling the exhilaration of controlling the cursor solely through thought. This newfound ability not only enhanced his communication but also fostered a sense of independence that had been elusive for nearly a decade. However, the public's reaction to Nolan's journey has been mixed. Skepticism surrounding Neuralink, especially given Musk's polarizing reputation, often casts a shadow over the technology's potential. Nolan and his mother Mia have faced scrutiny, with many questioning the safety and morality of implanting a chip in the brain. "People are so skeptical. You get all the naysayers who think he's the Antichrist," Mia remarked, highlighting the challenges they face in navigating public perception. Despite the challenges, the Arbaugh family has embraced the changes brought on by the implant. Mia, who has been a steadfast support for her son, describes a gradual shift in their daily life. With the technology allowing Nolan greater independence, she has been able to leave him alone for longer periods, fostering a sense of normalcy within their family dynamics. "It's a bonus," Nolan affirmed about the implant, recognizing that while it has changed his life, he still identifies as a quadriplegic who requires ongoing care. Looking ahead, Neuralink plans to expand its trials, potentially offering similar opportunities to others with spinal cord injuries. While the implications of such technology are vast and often speculative, Nolan remains pragmatic about his role in this pioneering research. "I don't care if people remember me or my name. If tomorrow they decided they were going in a different direction, I'd say thanks for having me. I had a really good time doing all of this," he stated, reflecting a profound acceptance of his situation. As advancements in neurotechnology continue to unfold, Nolan Arbaugh's experience serves as a poignant reminder of the intersection between human resilience and technological progress. His journey illustrates the potential for BCIs to enhance quality of life, redefine human capabilities, and challenge societal perceptions of disability. As Neuralink and similar companies strive to unlock the full potential of brain-computer interfaces, the future remains bright for those seeking to reclaim their independence and connection in a rapidly evolving world.